Welcome again to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break on Throwback Thursday. I'm, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. And with me once again is my colleague, Miss Kennetra Pulliams. KP, how are you?
Kris, I'm doing well, thank you.
It's good to see you as always. Let's get into it, of course.
Have you recovered from your road trip, your marathon?
Yes.
Your Final Four frenzy?
Yes, I am good. I've gotten plenty of sleep.
Okay.
It helps that allergies kicked in over the weekend, so I took some medicine for that and helped knock me out. So it all worked out. It's all good. Yes. Thank you for asking.
No, I need to get because I feel the allergy tickle.
Yep, I know it well. Unfortunately, yes. But this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break, powered by JM&E, is always, of course, streaming on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, as well as on Roku via BS3 Network. You can also watch the show on Facebook at the Houston Roundball Review Facebook page. But BS3, Roku, get the app, download the app, help me out, help Ben out, help AJ out, help out the entire BS3 family, and download the app so you can watch the shows on Roku via BS3 Network. If not, going to be old school, kind of old school. You can just go to the website bs3tvlive.com or bs3network.com. KP, this slide was, I think it's in the year 2025 of our Lord, it's necessary to do this, but it wasn't really news. Earlier today, the Houston Cougars men's basketball social media account teased big announcement at 3 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday, as you're watching the show on Thursday, or whenever you're watching the show on demand. I was asked, reached out, contacted, you have any idea about what this announcement is? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What announcement? I had no idea. Made some calls, not much feedback. Folks are busy, other teams, whatever. So I'm like, it's not a huge announcement. So wasn't really sweating it. The announcement 3 o'clock came, and this is the announcement that Joseph Jojo Tugler is staying, coming back, will be on the roster for next season. That was the big news. I guess new headline, don't sleep on Houston, is going to be a hashtag next year, wide awake as well. Wide awake, still for the city. Wide awake now will be part of the new motto for the next season. But that's the news, KP. Defensive player of the year in the Big 12, Mr. Tugler is not transferring. Is not going pro. He's staying a Cougar. Your thoughts on, I guess, the need or that teams have to kind of make these announcements now in this day and age?
I mean, I guess, you always want to be top of mind. You always want to be in the conversation. Don't sleep, so it's just like, hey, I mean, even though, we're kind of at the conclusion of the 2024-2025 college basketball season, now it's the free agent frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the Coug social media comms department just felt the need to, I don't know, live off of the success of the season, extend the euphoria.
I mean, who knows? They could have done it because they're getting a lot of questions from fans, concerned boosters, or whatever.
I mean, did the announcement come with a renegotiated deal?
That wasn't stated in the tweet. At least I didn't see it. I mean, for me, that's how I take everything now. I'm in college, semi-pro. I just take it as business because it wasn't a surprise. I mean, I think I said last Thursday, last Wednesday we recorded that JoJo was coming back. It's like Emmanuel Sharp's coming back. So it wasn't a surprise to me. Of the moves that have involved the Houston Cougars men's team thus far, nothing has surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Arsenault hit the portal, did not surprise me. Milos Uzan testing the NBA draft waters, did not surprise me. The guys that got in the portal, did not surprise me. JoJo coming back, did not surprise me. I guess Emmanuel Sharp, there'll be an announcement about him, maybe. He's going to get a renegotiation. Fine. Good for him. Braden Smith from Purdue. Braden Smith, Purdue announced that he's going to come back to Purdue. There was some discussion, would he do that? So I take that, and maybe he got some more money, got a raise.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's all part of the landscape. Division I sports, big time Division I sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad at JoJo. If he did, I don't know if he did get a raise. I don't know. If he didn't, he's coming back anyway. His draft stock kind of plateaued at second round right now. The collective, or Houston, as Mr. Willie Gibson says, friends of the program, they could have pointed up enough money to match any second round payment he get as a draft pick second round. So I mean, no worries there. But
so if in your opinion, if Uzan goes through the process, get some feedback, get some testing, whatever, from the NBA, if he decides not to remain in the draft for June, is his plan B Houston?
Yes.
Or elsewhere?
Yeah, it's Houston.
Okay.
Yep, he will come back, and I've heard, and I'm going to say it like that. Okay, I am not in Coach Sampson's back pocket. I do not know everything surrounding the program. I'm not trying to come off as arrogant or anything like that. Okay, because I've made mistakes regarding the news of the team, and probably make some going forward. I try to minimize them.
Sure,
but I've heard, been told that if Milos does decide to return to college in Houston, he and incoming freshman Kingston Flemings, it's been discussed how they'll fit, share time on the court. Pop Isaacs transferring in. Coach Sampson will figure it out. Okay, sure. Pop Isaacs is a solid contingency if Milos decides to stay in the NBA draft. If Milos decides to come back, that's a heck of a guard rotation that they have.
Yeah.
So it's a good problem to have. Now, kind of leaning into this, last week, kind of quieted so far this week, was a lot of way too early 2026 looks at men basketball and women basketball too. Why are you doing that? Why colleagues? Why are you don't have anything else to write about? And for the most part, I don't look at all of them. That's too many to look at. But the ones I've seen has Houston as number 1, 2, or 3 in these way too early looks. One of them had Terrence Arsenault in the starting lineup. And I was like, well, even when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. I knew that wasn't happening. And then, of course, others had Milos Uzan coming back. Well, he may not. But the whole thing, the portal window is still open. So why are you even, as writers, colleagues, why bother putting this stuff out? At least wait till the portal is closed.
Yeah, so it's a fluff piece.
That's all it is, and you get, I guess, the fan bases hyped up or fired up or upset, or in some cases, well, golly, my team stinks. We're picked like we're not even ranked, right now.
I mean, but it's the same reason that back in November they start putting out articles, pieces, commentary about who has the number 1 recruiting class. Like, Number one, these players are still in high school, haven't even finished their high school eligibility. And you're now projecting, based on the early signing period in November, what college the following fall will have the top recruiting class. Put no stock in that.
All of those things are just along a similar thought process for me of the weekly coaches poll, writers polls. I don't care. Yeah. College basketball has a tournament.
Yeah.
The champion will be determined in the tournament.
Same way like preseason number one. Based on what? Paper champion?
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm curious how your thought process. But more and more as I'm getting older, and I think I touched on this. I said it last week. The Cougs did not win the title. They were close, came close. I'm enjoying the journey. I hope they win it, have a chance. I don't care about Texas Tech having this great transfer portal signing group. BYU doing a great job. If they're the team to beat in the Big 12, I don't care if the Cougs are the team to beat in the Big 12. I don't care. Houston, Texas Tech, BYU, Iowa State, whoever, Kansas, Arizona, whoever, all those teams, as long as they're healthy, should make the tournament.
Yes.
If they make the tournament, then all of them have a chance to win 6 games. That's what I care about. I don't care about the Cougs going 19-1 in the Big 12 game, which I doubt they're going to do. This past season was a magic ride. A lot of things went their way, had some good breaks. Mm-hmm. These programs, established programs, in BYU under the new coach, Kevin Young, second-year coach coming to his second year, they are tournament teams. That is the baseline for them. And I mean in the NCAA tournament, not the college basketball crown invitational that goes out to teams who have sorry records, all that kind of stuff. These programs are NCAA tournament teams. So let's see if they can get hot and win 6 in a row, March and April. That's where I am in the process. I'm not concerned about if they're ranked first in the preseason poll, in the conference poll, if they're ranked first in the coaches poll, if they're ranked first. I don't care. I'm looking forward to the competition. I'm looking forward to the games in Vegas, the non-conference schedule, the Big 12 conference slate. I'm looking forward to all of that as part of their journey to get to the NCAA tournament March Madness. And then we'll go from there. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's the same. Same way that they put out bracket projections in December.
Yep.
Like what? Like why? Just for fan bases to get excited. Oh, look, we're projected as a 1 seed. And and that's the thing is like you look at from the first bracket projection to Selection Sunday, teams fell 5 seed lines.
Oh,
region.
I think, and when folks watch this, comment in the comment section. But I want to say when the Cougs started the season 4-3, there was at least one bracketologist had them as a 10 seed. And maybe even somebody had them not even in the tournament.
Come on now.
In their bracket. And I'm like, really? Do you think they're not going to make the tournament?
Right.
And that they're going to be a 10 seed? And the rationale at that point was they don't have any quad 1 wins. And my response, I think we had this on
started.
And I'm like, they're in the Big 12, right? They're going to have like 12 opportunities for quad 1 wins, right? Well, I'm just doing it right now in November. Okay, so why you bothering with bracketology then? If that's basically,
Show
so
your
that's the point. So all those things, it all plays out, evens out. I'm not trying to pour mouth anything that any of the programs are doing right now. The coaches, they are trying to assemble, put together what they think will be the best roster for them to compete and reach the tournament and win games. That's what they're trying to do right now. It's April. We still got the summer to go. And all of this stuff, just let me know. I glanced at the list of portal, and you sent me a text of it, but one of the websites had a summary like the top 50 kids in the portal, something like that. Men's hoops and similar women's hoops too. There's some news. I didn't know that so-and-so transferred, I didn't know what's his name? Henry Visar went from Arizona to Carolina. I was like, oh, okay. I'll find out come October when everything else is done. I'm not worried about what these young men and women do in the portal. As long as they're doing what's best for them. Go ahead.
Because there's still another week till the portal window closes.
Yes.
But here's my question. What do you think about those who enter the portal but put the label "do not contact"?
Typically, that means they already have their next spot wrapped up, locked up.
So why not just announce it? Do like Bennett Sturts. Okay, your coach went from Drake to Iowa. I'm going to Iowa. Okay.
Yeah. That's a great question.
With his dad, from West Virginia to Indiana. Okay. Just like why the drama? Why this is? Why?
It's unnecessary drama. And
you just trying? Are you trying to just up the ante?
Possibly in a negotiating tactic. And your point right there in our previous discussion is all tying into a certain quarterback who's no longer at Tennessee. Nico. Did you have a chance to read what I emailed you? Go ahead. I mean, we can fill in people up.
There's a lot of blame to go around.
Say what you want to say, and we can fill in if anything.
There's a lot of blame to go around. I mean, and it's become commonplace now that a lot of these representatives are laying claim to these, your word, student assets, but no one. So how do you have 5 agents, reps, whatever you want to call them, money men, claiming this kid? So now but who do you believe? Who is really representing? Because then everybody wants their cut, whatever money they're fronting him. So these kids aren't savvy enough, neither are their parents.
Yes, for sure.
For the most part, to know what is legit and who has their best interest at heart, because everybody is looking to get paid. Yes. Nobody's doing this for free.
Right.
So this deal that Nico signed back in high school, at the time, yes, it looked good. But after you prove your worth, sure, I think he has every right to renegotiate his deal. He's not the only one who's done that.
Right.
We see all of these kids who are just has agreed to a new deal. Okay, great. These kids also need to be advised, taught, educated. This is taxable income. This isn't a gift that you just get to pocket. No, you got to pay. You got to pay taxes on this. And these kids who have never had jobs, all of a sudden are multimillionaires. Money and alcohol makes you more of what you already are. Yes. And if you're not taught responsibility with either of those vices, it's a bad mix. So everyone wants to say, oh, let's commend Josh Heupel and Dan Lanning at Oregon for blowing the whistle. correct me if I'm wrong, when is the last time that Oregon has had a quarterback in their system from freshman year to graduation?
I have no idea. It's been a while. It's
Exactly.
been a long time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan Laney, don't sit here and be like, I told Nico's dad, he came to me looking for a deal for his son, blah, 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 blah. Last 3 quarterbacks you had came from other systems and other programs because it was more financially beneficial for them. So don't make it seem like Nico is the bad guy in this equation. He's doing what's best for him. And Big Nick, his dad, is doing what's best for his son. So, like, he's not an anomaly in this. And there will be someone who believes that whatever Nico's asking price is, he's worth it.
And so, Nico apparently has a do not contact tag in the portal.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's like, if you want to blame anyone, blame the system because it's not regulated. Like, don't blame the player. Don't blame his parents. Don't only blame, shall I say.
Yes. Yeah.
There's enough blame to spread out because a lot of people, I mean, the coaches themselves, you know, everyone's like, oh, well, Nick Saban, whatever. Nick Saban got out of the game for a reason. And I don't fault it. Coaches who don't want to deal with NIL, don't fault them. You know, a lot of these programs are now getting general managers for this purpose. So coaches can coach and not have to worry about promises. I mean, in the article you sent, you know, depending on whom you want to believe, whether Nico's asking for more money or if he's asking for more resources, as in offensive line and receivers, so that he's not sustaining another concussion, which then affects his livelihood. Ask Tua. So, like, you know, I don't think he's wrong in asking, like, hey, get me better supporting staff so that I'm not running around for my life, so that I'm not getting, you know, I'm sure Shedeur Sanders, you know, would have loved to have a better offensive line at Colorado as well, because it affects your decision making. If you know that you don't have pocket protection and you don't have blindside protection, you can't just stand in there. You have to rush your throws. You have happy feet. You're dancing around trying to get, because you're not trying to get hit again.
And that impacts your decision making. It impacts your production, which will impact your draft stock.
Yes.
Which will impact your bottom line. So it all ties together.
Yes. It impacts the team's record.
Yes.
And the coach's job.
So I agree with you. A lot of blame to go around his parents, his representation, agent, Tennessee, the system, all of that. You know, I mean, Tennessee started by offering him the money in high school.
Thank you.
And then taking him the state to court, or the NCAA to court, saying you have no jurisdiction over us in Tennessee as a state. So,
and the thing, you know, and then like, so if you wanted to leverage, you know, if, again, I wasn't in that huddle in Knoxville, but if Tennessee didn't do right by him or do what they said they were going to do as far as providing him players or providing him more money, like whatever, there's a little bit of truth everywhere. There's also a little bit of lying everywhere. But if he wanted to sit out spring game or sit out spring practice, you know, trying to call their bluff, okay. Josh Heupel did what was best for him. But, like, you know, whatever. He's going to have supporters. He's also going to have critics. Both Heupel and Nico.
Yes. And I wish Nico the best, and I always maintain it. Do what's best for you. Look out for number one. And I'm going to say this, and I don't know. We don't know all the ins and outs of this situation. But there are times for athletes, but for people, all, you know, in general, sometimes looking out for number one also involves telling your parent, mom, dad, advisor, you need to take a step back and let me ask questions because I have some questions that you're not asking, and get the information for yourself. So maybe it's time for him to be more involved because he's the one playing. He's the one taking the hits. He's the one getting concussed. So he's the one that wants to have an NFL career.
He's also the one getting all the hate messages.
Yes.
When they lose.
He's getting all the smoke. All of that as well. And he's going to have to, when he does land at a new school, earn their trust, whoever that is, their fan base, their money people. He's going to have to win the locker room, all of that. So it's part of, again, it is division.
And he did all of this as a freshman.
Yes. It's the way of big time athletics is today going forward until it is regulated. And I mean, I'm not going to be political, but goodness knows, I don't know if Congress getting involved is a great thing. You know, the NCAA did all of this to itself by kicking the can down the road for so long with student athletes. They're athletes, students. They're athletes first. Majority of them are athletes first, especially in Division I football, and they are students or they're student assets. But for so long, the NCAA, no, they're okay, whatever. And they start losing in court. And they kept losing in court. And they kept losing. Well, maybe we need to change this. We need to change this and be more accommodating this way, that way. Still never solved all the issues.
Right.
Just kept kicking the can down the road. And now for the last few years, well, if Congress gave us more help and gave us more guardrails, then that would solve our problem. Yeah, okay. You keep believing that. All right. A little bit earlier than usual, but you are watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, powered by JM&E, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you are new to the show, thank you very much. Thank your friends for telling you about this show because the numbers are growing. I see them. Thank you very much. Spread the word about this show and watch this show on demand if you can't watch it live, because you probably will learn something that you, hey, I heard Kennetra say that on the show. I heard Kris say that on the show, but someone else said it like it was news. I already do that. Yeah, that does happen on this show. Thank you very much for watching this show and spreading the word about this show. But now I'm going to play a quick promo of what BS3 Network is all about. And KP and I will be back in 35 seconds.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. And with me, as usual, Miss Kennetra KP Pulliams. First half of the show, we talked about the news about Mr. Tugler, JoJo Tugler, of the school announcing that he's coming back to Houston for his junior year. Also, transfer portal news, way too early polls and all that unnecessary stuff. But also Nika, Tennessee, and the mess that is Division I athletics. Now, second half of the show, we're going to talk probably some predictions, playoff predictions, but I want to touch on this, some UH women's basketball news, but also A reminder, the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, streaming live on Roku as well as on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, but on Roku via BS3. Download the app, download it so you can watch the shows on Roku. A lot of other shows on BS3 you can watch on Roku as well. Now, KP. I mentioned it last week, some news regarding Matthew Mitchell, the new head coach of UH women's basketball. He was putting his staff together. So I'm going to catch up from last Friday to Wednesday or Tuesday of this week. All right. Putting this news first, because this was made official Friday about Demetria Buchanan being named the associate head coach on the Houston Cougars women's staff. I've known Demetria Tree since she was at Jones High School. She's from Houston. She graduated from Texas A&M. So she's coming back home. Her last few years, she was at Auburn. Her most recent stops were at Auburn. But she also coached at Kansas, Texas Tech, and Stephen F. Austin. So she's looking forward to a quote from Coach Mitchell. Demetria brings tremendous experience in both coaching and recruiting at the highest level. Her energy and love for the game make her incredibly relatable to our players. As a former standout at Texas A&M, she knows what it takes to compete at the top. As a coach, she has played a key role in developing championship cultures and has built a strong reputation as a recruiter. She's fully committed to helping us build a championship culture and elevating our program here at Houston. Next, this was Sunday earlier this week, but let me say this, because to Coach Anthony Anderson's credit, I knew about it before it was announced. I mentioned him as joining the staff last week, but Coach Anderson posted on Instagram that he was joining the staff, I want to say April 5th. So if you follow Coach Anderson on the gram, you already knew that he was joining the staff, that he was leaving SMU to come to Houston. So Houston made it official Sunday with some of this information. Coach AA has joined the staff as an assistant coach. Coach Buchanan is an associate head coach. So he got the title, a little higher up. But from Coach Mitchell, we are fortunate to have someone like Anthony joining our staff. His impressive coaching career, a deep understanding of the Texas basketball landscape, and that's important, and relentless work ethic make him an invaluable asset to our program. Anthony's commitment to effort and his passion for being a student of the game align perfectly with the values we are building here at Houston, end quote. As I stated, he was at SMU for the previous 3 years. Prior to SMU, he coached at UTEP, where the Miners compiled a 31-12 record. And then prior to that, and this is, I kind of know him as well from here, in 2018-19 season, he served as recruiting coordinator under head coach Raven Justice at Sam Houston, and she was named the Southland Conference Coach of the Year. Raven Justice was an assistant coach at Houston, so I've known her for a long time. She worked at that time, Houston Baptist, now Houston Christian. So I go back, way back. So he and I have some connections as well. Small world with him. Next on the staff, now we get into folks who I don't know. Don't have any connection with them. No, degrees of separation. Not with these two. Marqu'es Webb. She's also joining the staff as an assistant coach. Tuesday, Coach Mitchell made official announcing her as a member of the staff. Quote from him, "I am thrilled to add Marqu'es to our staff at Houston. I watched her as a high school player and coached against her in the SEC and admire her approach to the game and competition. We aspire to build a championship program at Houston and will accomplish that with championship people like Marqu'es. She possesses championship talent, skill, and energy. She will make a positive impact on Houston women's basketball." Webb arrives at Houston with Big 12 conference experience. So I'm wondering, do you know her? Does the name ring a bell?
No.
Because she coached at Kansas during the 24-25 season. Webb helped guide Samaya Nichols to all Big 12 first team honors and a WBCA All-America honorable mention recognition. The Jayhawks also received a Big 12 All-Freshman team honor for Reagan Williams and an honorable mention nod for L. Evans. Prior to KU, she was an assistant coach at Mercer, and she played ball at Vanderbilt. So that's about her. Lastly, but not least, is Denisha Stallworth, also joining the staff. Denisha played for Coach Mitchell at Kentucky. So this is the second time she's working with Coach Mitchell. Quote from Coach Mitchell: "I am proud to welcome Denisha to our staff here at Houston. I had the privilege of coaching Denisha as a player, and I am thrilled to reconnect with her on our professional journey," end quote. She truly embodies the core values of the winning tools, which are honesty, hard work, and discipline, and is equipped to pass those on to our current and future Cougs. Her experience both on and off the court will resonate deeply with our student athletes. Denisha values people and shares our vision for creating a culture of excellence. This past season now, since season is over, she was at Boston College. So there you go. So Demetri Buchanan, Anthony Anderson, Marqu'es Webb, and Denisha Stallworth are the new coaches on Coach Mitchell's staff. He's not done. He's working on adding others to his staff, maybe different titles, like his chief of staff, Miss Amy Tilley. I'm hoping to interview Coach Mitchell in the next few days. Based on his busy schedule, we'll make it work. Who knows, he might be a live guest on the Thursday edition of the Takeover. Who knows? So all those things are in the works for him.
How does the roster look?
I just about to say it. I'm surprised. They have 5 players on the roster on the website for 25-26. All 5 of them are from this past season. So they have not left. They have not gone into the portal. The one player who has entered the portal from Houston did not even play on the team last year. Mm-hmm. She was a Houston Cougar for like a week. But Houston was her most recent college. So that's how she's listed in the portal. So, and her name is Kiera Edmond, not the current Kiera Kiki Merchant, who is on Houston's team and is still on the team. And as far as I know, not entering the portal. Kiera Edmond is in the portal. Good luck to her. The 5 players: Kiki Merchant, Gigi Cook, Summer Bostock are the 3 players who played last year, and then 2 players who were injured and missed last season: Malia Johnson and Kateri Poole. Kateri Poole, most recent stop was at LSU. If Kateri and Malia are healthy, that 5-some could be decent. It's not tall. I think 3 of them are 5'8", 5'9", and in the Big 12, Kennetra, that's not tall. It's not good enough. They got to be taller than that. Malia is 6 feet. I think Summer's 5'11", 6 feet as well. I do know that I'm not going to say their names, but I know they have had at least 3 players visit who are in the portal, have come to campus to visit. Others may have done the Zoom thing and talked to the staff about, possibly becoming Cougs. So Coach Mitchell, he's got his staff almost finalized. He's working on assembling players. I'm not expecting some earth-shattering blue chip player to join the team this year, be the portal. I mean, but I will say this though: if you want to play and make sure you get a lot of minutes, you can come to Houston because, like I said, there are 5 players on the roster right now. You got 10 more spots. If you go the full roster limit to 15, you can play here at Houston. So just putting it out there. But I'm curious, and how can I? With the returning players.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how well they do or how they do under this staff. Because I will say this about Coach Huey. One of my criticisms of him as a head coach, is he did not do a great job of coaching up his players, making them better year to year. And you can, contrast that to Coach Sampson's player. It just wasn't there. Yeah.
Okay.
So if Gigi Cook and Kiki Merchant and Summer Bostock put up better numbers this coming season, or that might say a lot right there. It'd be another example of the difference between Coach Huey and Coach Mitchell and their staffs, not just Coach Huey. He had a staff as well. So putting it all out there. Okay. Next Wednesday, April 23rd, Houston Athletics will honor and celebrate the UH men's basketball team to recognize their tremendous season, their accomplishments, going 35-5, reaching the title game. It's open. It's free to the fans. Get there early. It's going to be at Fertitta Center, starting, I think, at 7. Doors open at probably 6:30. Get there early. Support. Show your support for the Cougs. And see, I thought about this. We're talking about JoJo Tugler and announcing his return. They could have waited till next Wednesday. You introduce the players and then say, and oh, by the way, we're not forgetting them. We're making it official tonight.
Yeah.
For all you fans, in case you're wondering, there is no doubt JoJo Tugler and Emmanuel Sharp will be back for the 25-26 season. On and on, other players do whatever. I'm just saying. I'm just putting out.
Yeah.
But, what do I know about
my question is, why weren't the watch parties at the Fertitta Center during the Final Four?
That is a question that a few alums have asked me and us as part of the Let's Rage Coogs shows. I ask, why don't they have the watch party on a selection Sunday at Fertitta Center? Some of the season ticket holders wonder that as well, loudly, especially when the watch party is just for the wealthy supporters and it's a private party. And the season ticket holders are, what about us? We spend our money too. We support the program too. Why can't we cheer on the team and attend a watch party? I agree. It should be at Fertitta Center. And it'd be a great way to sell merch. Have a few of the concession stands open. Be a great way to have folks who aren't current season ticket holders to become season ticket holders. I just,
or even those who can't afford tickets to the game. Hey, here's a chance to be a part of the program. Come to the watch party. You could even get the packages together. Hey, if you want to travel to wherever the first weekend is,
I mean, there are better ways, I think, and you think as well, to do this, to involve your fan base. And
I mean, it doesn't have to be or. It can be and.
yes,
You can have the private reception, but at the same time, you could have, in the suite, whatever, you could also have the public watch party on Selection Sunday.
because the number of people who attend a private party, 100, maybe the really well-to-do, connected folks, the big-time money people, the elite.
Yeah.
You could put them. I hope you could put them in a suite or put them somewhere inside the Fertitta Center, something.
Yeah.
And then have the majority of the fans, those who aren't elite,
Yeah.
celebrate the success of their favorite team when it's announced where they're going. When it's announced this year when they were 1 seed, in the region, all those things.
I mean, like, that's the thing. I mean, like, coming off of a Big 12 regular season championship, coming off of a Big 12 tournament championship, like, you could have the trophy there. I mean, like, seriously,
Yes.
photo ops.
And because the Big 12 championship game is on Saturday,
Yeah.
there's enough time for the team, if they reach the title game on Saturday,
Yeah.
to return to Houston for Sunday in the selection show.
Games at 5:00.
And do all. I mean,
They're home Saturday night.
Yeah, they're better. There are better ways to involve the fan base.
24 hours later is a selection show.
As I've said on this show a few times, when you hear me say
Coog gonna
Coog or Coogin it, that's not a positive. When I say that, Coogin is not a positive. We have to, and I'm speaking as an alum, we have to work and do better to make Coogin it a positive. Because right now, so much has been done poorly or ineffectively that Coogin it and Coog on a Coog is a negative.
Like, they're sleeping on opportunity. They're not wide awake to embracing.
Yes. And they're wide awake apparently now for this upcoming season. Is going to be a part of their hashtags for promotion. Okay, well, if you are wide awake, then being wide awake, make it more accessible to your fans, all of your fans, rather than just a select few.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows? Some of those fans may reach new future success in business and become the wealthy elite. But they decide, well, you treated me so poorly when I was, in your eyes, less than. Why should I contribute to you now that I have more?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Don't risk that alienation of your fan base. Fans want to support the Cougs and cheer on the Cougs and be there and celebrate their success for the Selection Sunday show. And you see it across the country. Other schools do a great job of it.
I mean, and that's the thing, is like, even, some fans can't afford to travel, to Wichita this year. Mm-hmm. But those who couldn't still treat them respectfully, like, hey, we know you can't make it, but you still want to show your support. You still want to embrace the program. Come to the watch party on Selection Sunday, even though you can't travel with us on Thursday to Wichita. You couldn't go to Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament. Hey.
And I want to remind everyone, or if you're new hearing this, the 26th tournament, the Cougs will not be in the Houston region. Okay, so do not buy your tickets in advance thinking, or for the Houston region, thinking you're going to see the Cougs in the Houston region, because they're not going to be in Houston, because the University of Houston is the host institution for the region, and by NCAA rules, the team cannot participate in games in that region. Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind. Use that as a little pin dig to athletics or the administration, whatever. Why do you tell me this at a time? Well, I'm telling you now. KP has this as well. Keep it in mind. Do not buy tickets for the Houston Regional at Toyota Center,
Is that
2026, the South Region.
South region. And then we're saying that's the second weekend. That's the Sweet 16 Elite 8.
Sweet 16 Elite 8, not the first 2 rounds. Don't plan ahead and spend your money thinking, hey, the Cougs are going to be there. No. They're probably going to, well, who knows, based on how they do and seed-wise and all that kind of stuff. They could be in the East, Midwest, West. Who knows? But one thing we know, they will not be in the South region. We know that for sure. Okay. How are you in your knowledge, your insight and opinions regarding the NBA?
When the playoffs start in April but don't end till June, I take a cursory glance.
All right. Rockets, Warriors. Rockets are the 2 seed. The Warriors are the 7 seed. The first round series starts Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, nationally on TNT, locally on the Space City Home Network.
Such a late start.
Who are you picking to win the series? Yes.
Can Draymond not foul out?
He could, but he probably will, or get tossed or whatever.
Yeah. Just going on higher seed, go with Houston.
I'm picking the Rockets as well. I did my Let's Talk Houston Rockets Tuesday night after the Warriors held on to beat Memphis and did a show. And salute to my Rocket fans or the fans of the LTHR. Had some great numbers. 12 midnight to 1 o'clock, talking Rockets in the playoff preview of the Rockets Warriors series. The national media don't care. Majority of them, if not all of them, are going to pick the Warriors or have picked the Warriors. That's fine. Okay. I'm picking the Rockets. They have to do a few things. You know, their stars have to be stars. Jalen Green got to play well. Şengün got to play well. The inexperience is a question mark because they've never done it before. It's the first playoffs for them, so we'll see how they respond.
Yeah,
I'm choosing to believe they're going to respond just fine. I'm not calling for a sweep either way. The Rockets can win this in 6, or they can win it in 7. Win it game 7, be back in Houston. But I'm putting my trust in Ime Udoka and his staff. And I'm picking the Rockets. And another reason is kind of hoping that they stand up to the bully on the block, Draymond, because he's no longer in spite of what his campaign to be Defensive Player of the Year on his podcast, he's no longer that good defensively. More and more, he's just all talk. And as long as Şengün and the guys Draymond will be defending can handle the talk and just talk and not let it get under his skin and just beat Draymond with skill, Rockets will be fine. That's a tall task because they haven't done it yet in the playoffs, but I'm expecting them to do it. So on that positive note, I said this on the show, I'm saying it again. Rocket fans, if you have the means, and things are changing, times are changing, so some of you may no longer have the means, but if you have the means, be at the games, be at the home games, put your butt in those seats, wear the Rocket shirts that'll be handed out for the Rocket celebrations, the parties, all that kind of stuff prior to game 1. Be at the game. Be there. It's a late start, 8:30, so should not be any reason for not being in your seat saying, well, late arriving crowd. Well, if you arrive too late, it's going to be 10 o'clock. So support the Rockets. I'm looking forward to the series, the veterans. We'll see if the Warrior players play like veterans, or if the young Rockets make them play like old men, make them look like old, past their time, their prime is, it's over, the window is shut. I would love for the young Rockets to shut the Warriors' window for titles, and shut it, just close it, board it up, nail it shut, and send them on their way. That's how I would like to happen. All right, Miss Kennetra Pulliams, thank you as always for your insight. Not sure about next Wednesday recording because, like I said, I'll be at the celebration, so we'll figure it out, and I'll keep in touch with you, regarding your schedule. We'll make it happen. We'll figure it out. But as always, everyone, thank you for watching this show. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell your friends about the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, available on Facebook and YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review, and also, of course, on Roku via the BS3 Network. You haven't stopped me yet to say anything new, so I'm going to assume nothing has changed.
Nope.
So nothing has changed regarding that, and if it ever does change, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to wrap it up. I love saying this because I'm proud of it. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.